Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here with the January transformational reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've just got lead troublemaker Prince Harry here who is helping me with the cards today. He's been climbing all over everything. He's very camera shy, so he's usually here but he's not cooperative. So anyway, if you hear noises in the background, that's who it is. Alrighty, so the transformational reading is a bit different to a tarot card reading. There are two lots of cards. There's a background card here, and there's also an inner card that sits on top of the background card. Okay, so the thing about this reading is, although there is some sort of correlation with the future, it's not meant to be predictive as such, but it can be. But the primary purpose of it is to get you to look inside yourself. And so, you know, some of the things that come out in the cards are very sort of unexpected. And, you know, you have to decide whether they're for you or not. There's 5 cards to this spread, so you can pick one card, pick a number 1 to 5 if you want to, or you can think of it week by week for January with a few days at the end for the 5th card, or you can just take the whole lot and see how the whole lot appeals to you. Okay, so let's go to the board. Oh, and by the way, if you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Okay, so let's go to the board and see what we can see, what the cards have to say. Harry's gone for the moment. He was just sort of deciding that he wanted to break free and get out the window, which is closed, and was making all manner of noises. Okay, so we're going to do the first background card. Now, it's important that whatever flashes in your mind, that you pay attention to that and you go with that. So don't let your mind censor what your subconscious is trying to tell you here. Okay, so there you go. First card, there's 2 cards. Hesitation and laughter. They just flew out. So I'm going to put them there like that for the moment. And now we're going to draw the inner card for each. Do stick around to the end. I'll do a psychic channeling at the end too, by the way. Okay, let's have a look for the first card, hesitation. I'm going to go with that card there. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting is that I will turn this over in a minute if you're new. The first thing I'm getting is that don't be put off by what other people want or what other people say. Always, always, always stay true to your own heart and your own self. Even if you're wrong on a point, you know, it's not reasonable to expect you're going to be 100% right on every single thing. But even if you're wrong on a point, it's basically you're teaching your subconscious to trust you, okay? And so you go with that. Once your subconscious knows that you can be trusted, then it will give you more and more and more, and you'll get better, okay? So, well, isn't that very interesting? What do you think that stands for? Okay, prostitution, selling yourself short. Okay, so maybe in some way, this is my interpretation, you think about how this relates to you, but just to get you started, maybe in some way you've been selling yourself short and now you're starting to get the beginnings of the realization and the insight that you may have been doing that. That one just flew out. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to put that with there. But I'm still on this. So the hesitation might mean that you're having to change your mind about something. Maybe you had belief system wasn't correct, and you were prostituting yourself in that belief system somehow. You know, we all get taken in. I mean, thankfully I'm older now, so it doesn't happen to me. so much, but never say never. But when you're younger, it's easy to be sucked in by other people because you don't have the experience. And as you learn to listen to your subconscious, and particularly your body always knows the truth. It doesn't care what your mind thinks. It doesn't care about your belief systems unless your belief systems are actually hurting it. The body will tell you, if you can listen to your body, the body will tell you what the truth is, because as soon as you hear a porky pie, you're going to feel it in your gut, okay? So that's the first thing. The second one that's come up here, laughter. Okay, so there's a number of meanings here. The first one I got was, just because somebody's older doesn't mean, that you disregard everything they say or you laugh at them or something like that, was the first thing. But secondly, the next thing I got was that as we get older, that we need laughter more and more. And so it's really good to find ways of making yourself laugh every day. And, there are laughter clubs and stuff like that. Look, I've been to a couple of those sorts of groups and it feels fake to me. And so just because someone's laughing doesn't necessarily mean that it's funny, or, there's a fake element. And so I couldn't tolerate that. And so, but I do think the idea is good. It's just you have to be real about it. If it's not funny, it's not funny. That's all there is to it. And what's funny might be different in different cultures and at different times. And my husband's Italian, of Italian extraction, and he tells me jokes in Italian and they're not even funny, and he's laughing his head off. But what it is with Italian, for example, it's the sound of the word. So one word might sound like something else completely ridiculous. And so to them it's funny because they understand Italian and the language. So find whatever it is, regardless of whether it seems appropriate or not. Find whatever it is that makes you laugh, okay? My sense of humour is particularly warped. So sometimes I think stuff is hilarious and nobody else does. So like that post I put in the community about the cat that was found, I just laughed and laughed. I thought, that's the ugliest looking cat I've ever seen. Of course it was some sort of possum or something. It wasn't even a cat. But I found that hilarious. But yeah, only a few people found that hilarious. So there you go. Try and get some laughter in every day. All right, let's look at the next card now and see. That one wants to come out, and see what comes out. Anxiety. This is a really common problem these days, anxiety. It's so prevalent in the community today, and especially with women and the younger. I guess it falls into two categories, either the really young women or the older women. Maybe not as much in the middle-aged women, although I'm sure there is still anxiety there. Whichever way you look at it, there's a lot of anxiety in the ether at the moment, men and women. And let's have a look at what the inner card is. Okay, and I'm giving you suggestions of what I think it could be, but it's really important to go with your gut feeling, because this is not like tarot. There's no sort of right or wrong answer at all in these oracle cards, and not that there is in tarot either, but it's even less prescriptive than tarot. That one. Okay, well, this is pretty clear cut what it means. I nearly chose this one. It's on the cards, but I didn't. I chose that one. Okay, anxiety about measuring up to other people. In what ways do you feel anxious when you measure yourself, your looks, how smart you are, how good a psychic or astrologer you are, how good a daughter you are, how good a mother you are, how good a wife you are? All of these sorts of things, when you try to measure yourself up to a certain standard, it's a bit like Stepford Wives, isn't it, with Nicole Kidman? Women trying to measure up to a certain thing, and the bar's always too high for anybody who's working full time, for anybody who has other commitments, has a family, doesn't have enough money, is not the certain skin colour you're supposed to be. I know people, that they're married to somebody from another culture and they don't measure up to his culture, and they don't measure up in their culture because they married the guy from the other culture. Oh my God, humans just get so confused, don't they? Just get on and be happy and live your life. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one for January, and this is card, okay, 1, 2, this is card number 3, because those two go together for some reason. I don't know why, but they both come out at the same time. Card number 3, card number 3, let's go with that one. And the card is affection. Okay, I did a reading on 3AW Melbourne Radio last night I think it was, and the word affection came up for a woman. There was a little dog I could see. As soon as I heard her voice, I saw this little dog and I got the word affection. And so she knew straight away that, this was legit. And so affection's not a word that comes up all the time, and here it is again. All right, so the card that goes inside affection, I'm closing my eyes now. There's a lot of green, there's a lot of growth. I'm looking at a mandala. And so the patterns, these are patterns that you focus on that help you with meditation and help you contact, the deeper part of you in your subconscious. And there's circles in it, and the circles are spinning, and it's a bit hypnotic actually, so I won't focus on it too much because I could easily fall into that. It's like a portal or a tunnel that I'm seeing, and it's constantly changing, but it's green and circles are the theme. So circles, completion, wholeness, growth, healing. Healing goes with green. Okay, well, this is what we need to be healed from. Okay, so we've got affection in the background. Now, is it a lack of affection or is it too much affection? What is it that needs healing in your life regarding affection? Are you not receiving enough, or are you receiving too much? If you're receiving too much, you might be feeling a little bit smothered or restricted or controlled. And if you're not receiving enough, you might be feeling lonely or rejected, dejected, disappointed. And so these are all things for you to consider. Okay, if you are artistic, it's really good if you could, when you focus on this, and you get onto something that's like a hot point for you because you can feel it, it's resonating. It's good to draw it out, and use colours, because the colours that you use will relate to the energy itself or the situation around the energy. Okay, looking at card number 4. Card number 4. Card number 4. Card number 4. That one. Stop. Okay, let's just move these over a bit so we've got a bit more space here. Card number 4. Stop. What is it that needs to stop? Okay, looking for the inner card now. What needs to stop in January in your life? Because we're turning a corner. I've said it 50 million times. Well, I exaggerate slightly. We are going into the age of Aquarius. And some people even say that began in 1968, but I was around and I don't remember it beginning as such, but certainly was a time of more liberation and freedom. But it's coming in very gradually, of course. Okay, closing my eyes, what do I see? There's a path in front of me. I'm walking along. Look, it's an easy walk. It's not difficult, but I can tell you it's boring. It's a concrete path, and so this means that you're moving forward, but boringness, mediocrity, same old. These could be sort of features that need to stop in your life. If you're being boring in any way, or you're in a boring situation, how do you get out of that? Well, here's your answer. You get a Bengal cat called Prince Harry, or you get in touch with your natural feline or feminine instincts. Okay. So the other part of this is that, have you stopped your feminine characteristics in some way? You know, the slinky wildness, the intelligence, the creativity. Cats make very good mothers. Has your situation somehow caused you to shut down your femininity, which is giving you all of this energy that could be fueling your life? And if you don't have that energy, life just becomes meaningless, pointless, and boring, you know. So are we all on YouTube because we're bored, for example, when we could be outside doing stuff? I started walking my dogs again recently. I hadn't been able to. I've had a few health things happening this past year, which is unbelievable to me. But yeah, just to go for a walk in a park, you know, it gives you a real boost. And don't start, you know, with an hour or anything like that. If you're unwell, start with 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Or if you can't even get out of the car, just go to the park and sit in your car. Start somewhere. And then you can gradually increase it. You know, and if you've got sort of phobias about going outside the house, like agoraphobia, or anxiety about going out, stay in your car. You know, stay in your safe place. And then you can open the door one time when there's no one around and you feel okay. And just do it in little bite-sized bits. Really helpful. Okay, so it's time. This says it. You know, it's time to stop denying your natural instincts and your feminine side. Let's go to the last card now and see what we can see for January 2021 in transformational reading. I'm going to have that one. And the card that comes up is resent. Okay, what is it that you resent in your life? And let's go to these inner cards now. And going with that one, magic. I get the word magic. It's magical, don't you? And there was a song, don't you know it's magic? Don't you know it's magic? Da, 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 da. Who sung that? Was that Brian Cadd? That was probably about 1969 or 1970 maybe. And so magic is available in your life, but you have to obviously open up to it. The card, well, there you go. This card is all about spirit. It's all about magic. That would actually probably be in my interpretation. The stars and the moon, what goes on in the heavens, the signs and portents of the heavens reflect what is going to go on here on earth. And so you can bring magic, wonder and awe into your life. Go outside tonight and have a look at those stars and just sit out there. If you're in Australia, you're going to need Airguard. Probably. Don't get bitten by mosquitoes. You know, you might need to put something on. But yeah, go out and moon bake or star bake and just sit out there and be quiet for a little while. Oh, incidentally, I did get the keyword for the year is quiet. Okay, this is a year, even though we're turning a corner and everything, this is a year to be quiet and to listen. Okay, so you know how I'm always on about people expressing themselves. Yeah, it's great to express yourself, but sometimes you have to be quiet and listen to other people. You can't talk and listen at the same time. And if we're quiet, then we can, you know, hear what people really have to say. And you know what's really important? It's the quietness or the spaces between the words. So, you know, these people, some people talk at 1,000 miles an hour. I know that's because their brains are going at 1,000 miles an hour and they're processing stuff really quickly. And so it all just pours out. And sometimes if you're a psychic, you'll know the stuff downloads and you want to get it out really quickly because it's downloading on top of download on top of download and you want to get it out really quickly. But those pauses between the words actually help people process what you're saying. So in other words, if what you're saying isn't really important, just go ahead and talk at 1,000 miles an hour. That's fine. But if you want to make an impact on somebody, put some pauses in your words. Okay, obviously not too long or people get bored. But yeah, it's appropriate sometimes to pause. Okay, so these are our transformational cards for January, and you can see it's a bit mixed, but there is here, we're finishing up on a really hopeful sort of note. As we go through the month, we start off with some realizations which bring up some stuff to deal with, which is fine, because we're all on this spiritual journey together. And then at the end, we're seeing that there's some hope. What is it that you resent about being hopeful? Could it be that you resent the spiritual realms in some way because you feel that they let you down, perhaps when you were younger? I know with me that's what happened when I was a kid. I was really, really very spiritual, but I just felt constantly let down. And so you have to do this balancing act between spirituality and, being a physical human, and not expecting too much from humans, okay? If you expect that they're going to do this, that and the other, they'll disappoint you every time. And so I would sort of caution you as far as expectations about humans. Animals are so much easier because we know that Prince Harry is going to jump over everything. That's what he does. He's just being a Bengal. And, so go with the flow and, let those wild parts of yourself come out. Now, I'm going to close my eyes and see what I can see for everybody in January. As far as transformation, self-transformation, okay, I'm walking along. I can see it. For some reason, I've got slippers on in this vision. I'm barefoot in the physical world. Now, there's a big eagle here, and it's like I'm making progress. I'm not going fast, but I'm walking along, and there's a big eagle here on the right, and he comes swooping down. Now, he's just right here, like literally half a yard in front of me here, and his mouth he's going like this with his mouth, and he's like really loudly. And I'm saying to him, you've got my attention, I'm listening to you. But he's distressed. I think this is America, to be quite honest. I have a very close relationship with the American eagle, and I could tell you, what happened with me and the American eagle one time. But he's got a chain around his foot. That's why he's distressed. Okay, so I'm going to meditate on this. I'm going to imagine myself taking that chain off his foot, off his right foot. He's shackled. And it would be good if everybody else could do this, regardless of what country you're in, because America needs help. And we need to get these restrictions lifted from the American eagle because he's chained. He's enchained. Okay. And so if everybody can do that if we all get together and we do that, that will really help America. Now, I'm in space, and there's something going around and around, like the ISS orbiting. It's not the ISS, though. Some sort of satellite or something like that I get the word taking pictures. Okay, so snapshots in January. We're going to see a lot of, things of looking back over 2020. This is what 2020 meant. And there'll be all like these little snapshots. But they're snapshots. They're not actual reality. This is somebody else's version of what happened. And it's out of context because it's one single image. So be cautious that you don't take things out of context because you see at one single image. And even a video, it's only the length of the video versus you don't know what all the background information is. So be cautious about that. But having said that, I did get a flash yesterday. I have had it on and off, but I got it again either yesterday or this morning. Time is sort of meaningless to me sometimes. And about a lot of corruption and a lot of scandals coming up, and we'll start to hear about those probably the end of January, even before, and I think this year is going to be mind-blowing in terms of the scandals that we hear. I think we're going to be really, really shocked. I said this before in a video. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been a Trump report, but it was a while ago, maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago I was talking about this. But it's happening again. Now, they're showing me somebody with a belt, and they're loosening their belt. This says to me that keep the economy going, because there seems to be two levels. There's, the wealthy, everything, they just keep getting wealthier and wealthier. And then there's, the rest of the population, which are going backwards. Okay, so there's a loosening of the belt, excuse me, which means that things are getting a bit easier for you by the end of January. Okay, so there's something here about high heels. Yeah, look, they look great. Just be careful with your feet if you're buying new high heels, or you go out and you're wearing high heels. I just saw that right at the end. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope this has been useful for you. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Have a very wonderful transformational month in January. It's all happening, folks. Things are changing. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.